Hi, my name is James, and I want to walk you through the instructions on how to play my new board game, Feudal Lords. This is a game that's based on the premise that you're in basically medieval England, and you're a sharecropper, and so you're working for your feudal lord. The object of the game is to produce commodities, sell them, play the market correctly, and then make your feudal lord the most money. Whoever has the happiest feudal lord at the end of the game is the one who wins the game. At the beginning of the game, each player gets 12 of these cards. They look like this. And there's different things on here that relate to the 4 phases of the game. And these cards are played from the player's hand and eliminated one at a time. So the way you know what's played on a card is through this wheel that's in the middle. And throughout the whole game, this token here moves in this direction. And wherever it lands, like let's say right here it lands on a 2, then you'll know you'll be playing in row number 2 and whatever column that you're currently playing. So the way we determine how this is moved are just these move cards. They say 4, so we know we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces around, and that puts us back on a 2. And there's also a production here. This tells us what happens at the end of each turn. So here you can see each player has an individual game board. This at the bottom tracks the sharecropper's personal coins, or how much money he has. Just use these little tokens to kind of keep track here. This right here is an indicator of what column you're going to play on these cards, and you indicate that at the beginning of each turn. This is your production chart, so as you build and produce things, you kind of inch your way up this chart, and it keeps track. There's wood, corn, iron, and gold. Here's the market calculator. This is the center of the board. That's what we use at the end of all production. And that's how we keep track of how much, basically how much you made in the market. And then we go over here to the feudal lord take. That's a chart that at the very end, after you've made your money in the market, depending, again, we would be on column 4, what the take is for the feudal lord. That determines how much money you get to keep and how much money your feudal lord gets to keep. So this section right here is the sharecropper loan. At the beginning of each game, the feudal lord gives each player 100 coins, that's what's down here, to invest and to produce and make money in the market so that they can return money back to the feudal lord. Now at the beginning of each production year, if a player feels like they're low on funds, they can go ahead and take more loan, but it does come at a high interest rate, and at the very end of the game, there's a bonus if you're able to pay back from your sharecropper coins your loan amount, whatever that may be. Then up at the very top here is another key thing to keep track of. This is the market, and so as with any market, we can either have a sparse market, we can just have an average market, or we can have a flooded market, and that determines how much things sell back for. So the order of play is like this. At the beginning, you would declare, of course, column 1, you have to build commodities. You would draw a move card. It would tell you to move 4. So since we start here 1, 2, 3, 4, that highlights a 4. So we would know on our player hand that if we're going to have to pick from row 4 in the invest column in any one of the cards that's in our hand. So we would invest column 1. All the players would invest. They would start their kind of tracker tokens at the bottom of the market. This says +1 at the production. After all the players have played, everyone moves up. Any +1 production means anything you had. So if you have multiple items being produced, then everything would move up according to that card. And then that's the end of the round. Now we move up here to round 2. When we're in the manage in column 2, like I said, you're trying to produce. So let's say we move up here and it lands on a 2. And I've got a +1 in my manage column on row 2. So I'm going to play that card, which means I discard it, and I increase this. And so that's how you build up. There are +2s. There are things called bumper crop for wood or corn, which means +3. There's strike it rich for iron or gold, which is also +3. So like let's say we're at round 6. One thing that is in play after we get to round 5 is if this top coin, the move coin, or the move token, comes back around according to these cards and catches up and lines up here with these, Past round 5, we have what's called an early winter. And so an early winter shuts everything down. There's no more production. There'll be 2 cards left for round 11 and round 12. And round 11, everybody plays in column 3 on their card, which is their yield. So there's kind of one last production. How well did their commodities yield? And there's high, lower, average. And so you pick those. High obviously means you get some more production. Low means you go back, and average you just stay. That's the end of round 11. Now we go to market. So I kind of explained that before, but for example, this player would have 12 wood and 2 gold to go to market. So depending on what the rest of the players have and the rest of the game, we would see how much we sell back for. So let's assume that everybody's sold back to the market. That's all done. And we go to round 12. This is our final round. We turn over the move card. It says to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're playing in row number 2 in column 4. Column 4 is row 12, or round 12. So this player is going to know from 1, 2 that he gets a kind take. So the feudal lord is going to be kind to him. So we look up here to our market calculator, and we earn 330 coins. And we have a kind take. So go to our chart. That's over here. So a kind take means the feudal lord gets 210 coins, and the player gets an additional 140 coins added onto the 10, so they would have 150 coins for the next round. So that's basically how the game goes. Like I said, you do 4 production years. At the end of those 4 production years, the feudal lord who has the most money up here is the winner. That's the basics of Feudal Lord. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy it.